We have all watched natural disasters happen to other states and countries. And how prepared are you for a natural disaster in your own backyard? Well, Sergeant Chuck is owner of Survival Supply House, and he's here to help us be prepared. Sergeant, I was talking, we go back
over 20 years.
Why you got to bring that up? I mean, come on, I thought we were coming young and everything like that.
So. Well, you're still looking young. My hair turned white.
Yeah, and we actually met, and when you just were doing just a little bit of supplies and trying to educate people on survival packages, not just for disasters, but in general, especially if you're camping or you want to pretty much save money in a way and have these around, which is important. And we got to mention how you got the name Sergeant.
Well, I'm a Marine Vietnam vet, and I was a sergeant, and so my consulting clients, I've been in the consulting business for a number of years, and so they affectionately call me Sergeant Chuck because I always give them the straight stuff.
And that's what you're doing with us today, because we were talking before you came on, is that we hear about rationings. We know, during the Vietnam War, Afghanistan War, that they had these like dry packages. We see our, military veterans, some still have them and still use them because they're so used to having that diet. But now this is great for the public to be able to have this.
That's right. My day it was C rations, and then it went to MREs in the later wars. But this is freeze-dried food. It lasts for 25 years. You keep it in a container like this, and it's got 25-year shelf life. And I look at the whole thing as you're not buying the food. You're buying food. You're buying insurance because we don't know what's going to happen. And if you've got a weak supply of food and water being the most important. More than food, then you're set and you can survive.
Yeah, and we're not trying to scare people, but we've been seeing our food shortage at the grocery stores. We've seen pretty much our food line starting to kind of like go down a little bit. These are great things to have on hand, especially as we go through this changing time.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, we have people that, mom doesn't feel like cooking tonight. In 10 minutes, she can feed a family of 4 out of one of these bags. There's 4 meals in that bag, and of course it expands because it's freeze-dried and it's filling. Now, when I eat it, I always little reds. You can't go wrong putting hot sauce on anything, right?
So let's talk about, you said something very important, that there's 4 meals in these packages, and you have different ones. There's pasta, there's stroganoff, there's all kinds of different
this
meals
is only a small sample. If people go to my website, there's well over 100 items on there of different kinds of foods and other disaster prevention products on there. But we have the packs that's 32 meals in this bucket right over here. This box that you're holding up has got 36 meals. People with apartments say, I've got no room to store it. Well, you can store 36 meals, so that'll, divide that by 3 meals a day, so you got 12 days for 1 or 6 days for 2 or whatever.
Yeah. And you said something important too. You also consult for people and you talk with them, because it's not just about the food. You have also the kits and different things to help people too.
In fact, that's one of my differentiating points from other people is that people, I welcome them to call me to talk about what their needs might be. It depends on the size of their family. It depends on what that they like to eat. What do they already have? Water. I think everybody, besides having water storage like this, should have 4 or 5 cases of bottled water on hand, and they should rotate that stock. But my most popular one of these, this is one of those water storage buckets that's got the safe plastic, so to speak. So 4 of these come in a assortment that's got some water purifier, and stored in these, water will last 5 years. So you put it in there and forget it. Don't leave it in the garage in Arizona. But
put it in a safe place. Yeah. And that's what you do too. You actually walk them through talking about where the safe place in your house to store stuff, where's a safe place to be during a disaster.
Right. In fact, I've written a little book that is free online. You go to sergeantchuck.com, and this is Sergeant Chuck's Ultimate Survival Guide, and there's a lot of tips in there about surviving. This is written for nationwide because I do business nationwide. I'm doing a lot of business in the hurricane states right now, so their needs are different than Arizona. But still, it's how to stay safe.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
And one thing so funny is that I camp, and I camp off the grid, and I didn't realize how important it is now to have a transistor radio with batteries, or even a crank one.
Crank is very important.
And because our phone system could go down, and when you're out there in the woods, you have no way to contact or hear what's going on. And that radio, comes in handy.
It could save your life.
Yeah,
save your life.
It's amazing. So quickly, how long does the food last?
25-year shelf life on the food you see here. I have freeze-dried beef and chicken, which I didn't show for display, but that shelf life is 5 to 10 years, depending on how you're selling it. And most of the fruits, I mean, I brought bananas, but I have bananas and strawberries and blueberries and have vegetables and all of that. That's 10-year shelf life on the veggies.
I like it. Okay, I'm going to try some bananas.
Great.
Okay, also, too, you've decided to offer something to our viewers out there, didn't you?
That's correct. You can buy anything, go to the website. I ship freight-free nationwide. I'm like Amazon, I like to say. But also, when you check out, if you use coupon code AZ7, you'll get a 10% off on your order, shipped direct to your house.
I like it. These are only 100 calories. So, anyways, I'm going to survive a little bit here in the office. Sorry, it's always nice to see and talk with you.
Yeah.
So, thank you. And of course, what I like is the packaging. It's not scary. Sometimes when you see those the military ones, you kind of like get a little afraid. Now you get to see what's in there, what's going on.
You know, even price-wise, I mean, you know, like one at Costco's got cans of freeze-dried food, and it looks different than the packaging like this. But the big thing about it is that we say that we have the lowest cost per serving because a lot of people shrink the serving size. So these are mostly about 350 calories a meal, not 200. You can't live on 600 calories a day very long. And so it's priced competitive if you look at the serving size.
I love it. Tell people the website.
Survivalsupplyhouse.com. That's survivalsupplyhouse.com. If you go there, you put in when you buy something, put in AZ7 for your coupon code and get the 10% off. Also, if you want to talk about your survival needs, my phone number is on the website. You can give me a call, and I'm happy to visit with you about what we do and what you should do with no obligation.
Sergeant, love it.
Perfect. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
So, all right, we got our survival going on. So I want you to sit back and survive through these commercials when the mix comes back.